is Michael, and I'm finally taking another YouTube video for you all. And of course, I look like crap while I'm doing it. In fact, that was part of the reason I decided to make one, just because. Because I don't give a fuck right now. Nothing much has been happening. I'll need to get a job at at the end of December, which is, totally the perfect time since everybody's letting people go. Uh, and then I'll also be out of school a quarter earlier than I thought I was going to be, which is also very entertaining for me. Yeah. Um, but then I'm also glad to be out of there, finally. And then I'll be volunteering with the time that I used to spend in school, or I will be working a whole lot. Either way, I'm saving up money to move to Seattle, into the queer community because I want to go there and be surrounded by queers. On that note, I have found an interesting game. Maybe some of you other trans people can try it. I've started, when I'm out in public, sitting somewhere or something, I will just look at everybody that passes and pretend that everybody in the world, or at least every trans person in the world, has conspired in one spot. So everybody that passes me is trans. Just try it. It's a very interesting feeling to imagine yourself surrounded by people who are just like you. Um, yeah, yeah. And I suggested to another friend, to pretend that she's surrounded by queer people, and she said, well, that won't work. So I said, well, what about vegetarians? Pretend everybody's a vegetarian. So, if it's not something visible, then just pretend that everybody that passes you by is exactly like you. If you're marginalized, if you are a member of a minority, that is, I find it's a pretty interesting feeling. Yes. Um, and on another note, I'm trying to get rid of the ums in my speech, and I realize I'm failing right now, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I have been playing around with online dating because I am single, and online dating is horrible. Very horrible. I've looked at different transgender dating websites, and first of all, nothing that uses the word tranny offhandedly, to describe the transgender half of their customers. Uh, no. No, 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 no. It's bad. Um, and then there's been an even harder time trying to find a place for trans men. A lot of places, they'll just have a transgender box that you can check and know where to put any information about the fact that I am not a trans woman, which leads to much confusion. I think the first person I talked to seemed like a very nice guy, and I told him, what I was and all that. And he was cool, and then he proceeded to tell me that, well, you shouldn't change because. And I yelled at him in a very long email about how you can't go to a transgender-oriented website and tell people not to do the things that make them comfortable when they're transgender. It just is wrong, a little wrong. And generally my experience has been similar to that with other guys. I've found that people on Craigslist and other places, because I get bored and I go and I talk to them. I make lots of really raunchy ads and don't meet up with anybody. I found that most of the people I talk to are very nice, very lonely, but very nice. They just don't know how to behave themselves. So, but that enlightening experience is pissing me off right now because there's nowhere for me to go. I'm hoping when I move up to Seattle, I'll have more luck. And maybe after hormones kick in a lot more. I doubled up my dose a while back. I think I had my second larger dose, 2 milliliters, last weekend. So, I have a new doctor, and she wants me to do this until January. And then we will check things and see if I should keep going with this and how it's going. my hope is that, I'll get the deeper voice and everything, and then maybe I can switch down to a lower dose, or I'll just keep it this way if I'm actually used to things by then. Um, I'm having the epic angst of teenagehood, and it's entertaining. It's just the, oh god, when will it end? When will this be over? And everything is of immediate importance, and I just need to lock myself in a little room for the next year or so, and then I will emerge a beautiful butterfly. Yeah. I'm still not. I'm not that self-conscious about how I look. I've noticed. Um, I've taken up Buddhism, sort of, self-practicing on my own. I did go to a Dharma hall, but it's too far away for me, and I don't. I've found that I don't want to join any new communities, and I'm sick. I'm sick of introducing myself to other people, and I am sick of joining new groups, uh, and you know, telling everybody who I am and having to deal with this crap. It's very deterring to me in social situations, which is an interesting thing for me. That I no longer want to be with people because people suck. But I think that is also partly the teenage thing with hormones. It's interesting to me. Anyway, taking up Buddhism, and I've been trying to practice good breathing, and I can't do that without the binder or with the binder on during the day. Um, yeah, and I can't meditate with it, and I would really like to get rid of things on my chest. I've also I was working out for a little bit, but then I ran out of calcium and had a foot fracture. And sorry about the camera movement. Um, I had a foot fracture, which is all healed up now, thankfully. But I'm low on calcium, and that's bad. So I have stopped working out until I can get more, which I just got paid. And I'm hoping that I can exercise the chest muscles so that it will be like muscular, or beef up my arms so that my chest won't be so noticeable. So who knows? In other transgender news, I have apparently been getting a lot more looks of confusion from people in crowds. My roommate says about every 12 people that we pass in a crowd, two will be looking at me with lingering looks, trying to figure me out. But of course, I don't see them because, people are embarrassed and they look away. And I'm generally oblivious to how people are looking at me. I assume that they're looking at me anyway, so that's interesting. Yeah. Um. Mhm. So that's going to be my update for now. Um. Oh yeah, I've started a webcomic, and it's going to be sort of transgender queer oriented. It's going to be more transgender oriented than I had originally made the story. It's a prelude to another story, and it's all irreverent about the Bible and crap, um, and the Greek gods and historical figures. Like, anyway, I'll have more information about that in my next video because I'm a little bit tired and I can't remember anything, but I wanted to make another update before I forgot again. Well, not forgot, but just put it off. Anyway, I will talk to you all later, and please enjoy this time before the holiday season ramps up and people get all fucking nuts again. Because yeah, I foresee lots of dooms since the economy sucks and people are gift hungry. This year I am cutting down on gifts for everybody, which basically means I'm going to be making a few things, and that's it. Bread. People will get bread. Yes. Okay, this update is over. I'll talk to you all later.